You have to break it down. Where? Okay. No, I was
Make sure that you all can hear me. If everybody wants to take a seat, we're going to get started in just a moment. Thank you. Good? All right.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. It's truly wonderful to be with you on what we would consider a momentous day. We're here to celebrate Dr. Underly, to recognize her progress that she made during her first term, and to stand shoulder to shoulder with her as we begin the next 4 years. I've had the honor of serving alongside Dr. Underly for the past year as the Assistant State Superintendent for the Division of Academic Excellence, soon to be renamed the Division of Academics. And I'm thrilled to be part of her team as we head into her next term. Similar to Dr. Underly, I have invested my professional career in improving public education, beginning as a teacher and moving into school and district leadership. Now I'm learning from Dr. Underly as we find ways to enhance and support Wisconsin's system of public education. And I couldn't ask for a better place to be at this moment in time. Given the challenges that we face, I'm compelled to reflect on the importance of leadership and its profound impact on everything that we strive to do for our children throughout the state of Wisconsin. One of my favorite leadership minds is Jim Collins, who wrote the book Good to Great. Many of you have probably heard of that book, maybe even read that book. What a lot of people don't know is that Jim Collins also wrote a monograph, 35 pages long, titled Good to Great and the Social Sectors. You see, rather than measuring success with an economic profit-driven engine, our success relies on building a sustainable resource engine around public education that supports our mission and attracts commitment from others. Dr. Underly is passionate about building this sustainable resource engine for public education in Wisconsin. Public education can be considered the ultimate flywheel in Jim's metaphor for greatness. Public education is where so much opportunity lies, but it's also so big. The flywheel is massive and it's heavy. So it's slow to turn at first, but momentum will build. And as it does, the flywheel will move faster and faster. And we'll see that in Dr. Underly's second term. Success fosters more success. And we are blessed with teachers, and parents, and partners, and advocates, and so many more who all see the flywheel needs to be moved on behalf of the students in our state. And we need leadership to provide the direction and the organization and the focus to guide the process of getting our public education flywheel rapidly spinning. I know Dr. Underly to be the person for this task, and I'm honored to serve with her as we turn the flywheel and create positive momentum for public education throughout Wisconsin. Dr. Underly, I want to thank you for your commitment to our students throughout the state. So here we are today at the big inauguration. And it's my pleasure to introduce Wisconsin State Supreme Court Justice Ann Walsh Bradley, who will lead us through Dr. Underly's oath of office. Justice Ann Walsh Bradley is a native of Richland Center, Wisconsin. She is a highly engaged and accomplished leader who was a high school teacher before entering the University of Wisconsin Law School, where she earned her law degree. Justice Bradley began her judicial career as a circuit court judge in Marathon County. She was first elected to the Wisconsin Supreme Court in 1995, becoming the first woman in the state's history to join the court by being elected, rather than appointed, to the position. She was twice re-elected in 2005 and again in 2015. Continuing her passion in education, Justice Bradley has served as the Vice Chair of the Board of Directors of the International Judicial Academy and as an international lecturer for the Academy, the American Bar Association Asia Law Initiative, the U.S. Department of State, the International Law Development Organization. She also served as a state coordinator of iCivics, a civics education program founded by former U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sandra Day O'Connor, and as an associate dean of the Wisconsin Judicial College. I told you she was accomplished. Justice Bradley currently serves as the chair of the Board of Managerial Trustees of the International Association of Women Judges and is a member of the Board of Directors. Among other organizations, she is an elected member of the American Law Institute, as well as a member of the State Bar Bench Bar Committee and the Board of Visitors of the UW Law School. Her previous service includes the Federal State Judicial Council, Commissioner of the National Conference on Uniform Laws, Chair of the Wisconsin Rhodes Scholarship Committee, the Wisconsin Equal Justice Task Force, the Wisconsin Judicial Conference, and the Wisconsin Judicial Council. Justice Bradley and her husband, Mark, live in Wausau, where they have raised their 4 children. Please help me welcome Justice Ann Bradley to the stage.
What a delight it is to be here with all of you today and to join in this celebration. Now, I understand there is a certain amount of pomp and circumstance to this event. After all, an oath is being administered. But I believe strongly in celebrations, so I say let us rejoice today and be glad, right? Let us rejoice and be glad. Josh, after that introduction, I think it's about time I retired. That's right. Thank you for those kind words. And thank you, Dr. Underly, for the opportunity to be here today and to administer the oath to you as Wisconsin's 28th Superintendent of Public Instruction. You know, this turn back with me, if you will, to those thrilling days of yesteryear, 1848, when Wisconsin became a state, and just shortly thereafter, in 1849, the first Superintendent of Public Instruction was sworn in, which really serves as a testament to how important education is to the state of Wisconsin. I have a couple of other markers in mind as I was thinking of the brief remarks. You know, I asked if I could make a few brief remarks before saying raise your right hand. But for me, not long after I started serving on the Wisconsin Supreme Court 30 years ago, but not long after that, we had a case that was very important in the history and in the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, dealing with public education. That was Vincent versus Voigt, where we said in that case, of course, that all students have constitutional guarantee for a sound, basic education. Quite frankly, I remember in conference now, we're not supposed to talk about what we do in conference, but you know, I'm leaving in a few days, so. And I won't go into detail, but I remember how it may sound simple now, sound basic education. But at the time, that was considered monumental for helping to define what this guarantee was in the Constitution. And also, we indicated that all students should be provided with the necessary skills to succeed as citizens and economically. Another point of reference that comes to my mind, now, you were told in the introduction that we live in Wausau, and I have back and forth over those 30 years, or these 30 years. And those of us kind of in central Wisconsin hang together. You know, I was speaking with someone earlier this morning and talking about southwest Wisconsin, where I grew up in Richland Center. I kind of hang together. But in central Wisconsin, I think of a former interim superintendent of public instruction by the name of Lee Sherman Dreyfus. Now, most of you know Lee Sherman Dreyfus as a governor, and he was a governor who ran an election after serving as a chancellor at the UW-Stevens Point. But then, later on, he served as interim superintendent of public instruction. And he said this about education. And I paraphrase, but I'm awfully close. He said, "Wisconsin has never been a rich state, and we are not located on the East Coast or the West Coast. We do not have oil under our ground, but where Wisconsin can compete with anyone is in education. Education for the people of Wisconsin is the crown jewel, right? We know that. If we talk about, as our case did in Vincent and Voigt, the skills to succeed as citizens and economically, it is education that leads the way. So, how fortunate it is today that we come here to witness the administration of the oath and to celebrate the beginning of a new term as Superintendent of Public Instruction for Dr. Underly, who is at the helm now of our public education system. You're a person of vision, you're a person of courage, and Jill, or Dr. Underly, may I say, it is an honor for me that you've asked me to administer the oath to you today. So, if you would come forward and we will administer the oath as Superintendent of Public Instruction. If you would raise your right hand and repeat after me, I, Dr. Jill Underly,
I, Dr. Jill Underly,
swear that I will support
the
Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin,
and will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of the office of superintendent of public instruction to the best of my ability, so help me God. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Justice Ann Walsh Bradley. I really appreciate your kind words, appreciate everything. Thank you so much, Dr. Robinson. Family, friends, fellow Wisconsinites, thank you so much for being here tonight, or this afternoon. Thank you for your support and for trusting me once again to serve as State Superintendent of Public Instruction. There honestly is no greater honor than leading public education in Wisconsin. I'm ready for another 4 years of doing what I love most, fighting for better outcomes for every student, every educator, and every community in our state. I lived my life at the intersection of policy and people. I've been a classroom teacher, a principal, a district superintendent. I've also sat at the kitchen table as a mom, navigating our education system for my own 2 kids. And that's what makes me the right leader for this moment, because I know that the decisions that we make today about our children, our communities, and our future will echo for generations. We are living through a reckoning, a moment of truth for public education and for our democracy. What we do in the next 4 years matters. There are no do-overs. We need leaders who will rise to the occasion, who bring people together, and who will act with courage and clarity for our kids. Let's be honest, public education is under pressure. We may disagree on why, but we can all see the strain. And yet, every single day, educators, school staff, bus drivers, principals, and families are holding the line. They are the calm in the storm. They keep the doors open to every child. They create classrooms that are safe, challenging, and full of compassion. They offer food when the fridge is empty. They offer hope when the world is uncertain. They are the heart and soul of public education. So we must show up for them, not just with gratitude, but with action. Because the truth is this: too many teachers are overworked, underpaid, and unseen. They should not have to work second jobs to make ends meet. They should not have to defend their professionalism or their care for kids. They deserve more than thank yous. They deserve trust, respect, and the freedom to teach. That means fewer hoops and more help. It means creating space to partner with families and to lead courageous conversations about what's possible. And that's the kind of leadership Wisconsin needs. That's how we move this state forward. So a little over a year ago, I launched a series of listening sessions across the state, and we put a lot of miles on the car, visiting our largest cities and our smallest, most remote towns. And we listened to teachers, to parents, to school leaders, and school board members, to students and neighbors. And we didn't stop there. We studied what people have been telling us for years from surveys, reports, and community conversations. And we asked, what would it look like to listen, not just to who's the loudest, but for what brings us together? That work became our strategic plan for the next 4 years, and it's rooted in a simple but powerful vision. Engaged learners will create a better Wisconsin. Our mission is to advance equitable, transformative, and sustainable educational experiences for learners, schools, libraries, and communities. And here's how we're going to do it, with 4 clear priorities. Innovative education so that every student is engaged, challenged, and seen. educator recruitment and retention, because strong schools need strong, stable teams. Mental health for both students and staff, because wellness is essential to learning. A modernized DPI, because our state agency must be responsive, helpful, and clear. We are not here to micromanage, we are here to partner. We will respect the time, the capacity, and the expertise of educators. We will invest in people, not just programs. And we will make improvements, not just a requirement, but a supported and sustainable path forward. But let's be clear, we face real challenges. The state budget made progress, especially in special education funding, but it still falls short of what our public schools truly need. And the federal government is retreating from its role in supporting education. That means we must be laser focused. Every dollar, every policy, every initiative must serve one purpose: helping kids. And let me say this clearly, we will lead through these challenges. We will not hesitate to ask for what we need, because I want Wisconsin to be the best state in the country to raise a child. And that means access to quality childcare, affordable health care, safe housing, and good jobs. And our schools can't do this alone, but they can lead. And we can support them with everything we got. So before I take the office, actually I already did take the oath of office, second time, I got my order out of here, but I want to make a commitment to you. I will always put kids first. Always, I will always put kids first. I will build budgets and work across every aisle and every divide. I will fight for our public schools, and I will ensure that no teacher or school has to say no to a student in need. Not just because of test scores, but because every child deserves to be seen, known, and loved, because our schools must be places of safety and opportunity. And because every time someone tries to attack these values, they will find me in the way. If they try to defund our schools, if they try to turn our classrooms into battlegrounds, if they try to come for our kids, they will find me in the way. I will not step aside, I will not look away, and I know I'm not alone, because I see you standing up, speaking out, and showing up for kids. We are not backing down, we are stepping forward. This is our moment, so let's rise to meet it. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Underly, for your courageous leadership, for your motivating words today. I think we are all inspired to go out and do great things on behalf of the students across the state of Wisconsin. So this is a celebration, as was stated earlier, and with celebrations, there has to be food. And so I've been told that the food is in the room next door, and that once you get your food, you can kind of spill over and use the spaces both in here and then outside as well. So on behalf of Dr. Underly, I just want to thank everybody for being here today, for joining us in celebration. Again, congratulations to Dr. Underly and to the team that helped her get to where she's at right now. And we look forward to the future. Thanks again for being here.